It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline. Nigerian government hired Asari Dokubi to kill Biafra agitators, Ipob alleges. The group alleged that Dokubi was recruiting court members to work against Ipob members, to work against agitators loyal to Nnamdi Kanu. The indigenous people of Biafra has accused founder of the Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force, Asari Dokubi, of conniving with President Muhammadu Buhari's government to kill Biafra separatist agitators in the southeast and south-south regions of the country. The group alleged that Dokubi was recruiting court members to work against Ipob members and other agitators loyal to Nnamdi Kanu. According to Ipob, the youth being recruited by Dokubi are to be paid 150,000 naira per month. In a statement by its media and publicity secretary, Ima Powerful, on Monday, Ipob said, "We are the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra under the command and leadership of Nnamdi Kanu. We wish to remind Biafrans and people living in the coastal region of Biafra land, which Nigerian falsely called South-South or Niger Delta, that it has come to the knowledge and attention of global family of Ipob how Asari Dokubi and his co-travelers are recruiting cultists and some deluded and gullible Niger Delta militants to fight against the Biafran cause. We do not want to dignify Asari and his criminal recruits with the response, but for clarity's sake, we decided to make this public so that people should not blame us if anything happens. Biafrans living in both coastal area and hinterland are all parts of our great nation. They must understand that Asari and his few traitors are trying to create confusion between Igbo Biafra and Izon Biafra. But we are waiting for his recruited boys. He should not think that we are cowards. Let him venture and see what we are capable of doing." Ipob intelligence unit uncovered plan about how Asari is moving around coastal areas of Biafra land, recruiting cultists and demented fellows to join the wicked Nigerian security forces, evil politicians including governors in the southeast region, so as to attack people and blame it on Ipob and ESN operatives. The public should know about these wicked plots in the coastal areas of Biafra by few enemies of Biafra restoration. Asari Dokubi has sealed his contract with the Nigerian government and some southeast politicians in recruiting Ijaw youth to fight Biafra agitators in Biafra hinterland, precisely the Ipob and ESN operatives. Currently, they have opened 2 camps in Bayelsa and 1 in Iguacha. Some of the youth they approached refused the offer, while some of them accepted the proposed salary of 150,000 naira monthly. Their plan is to match these Ijaw militant youth with Nigerian military and JTF. They will have military uniforms and work with other security operatives to kill those agitating for the restoration of Biafra. Ipob members worldwide and ESN should take preventive measures very quickly to avert these evil plans by these murderous agents and their evil plans against Biafra restoration. We should not hesitate to officially notify the public and Biafrans through this release, especially Pandef, Ijaw Youth Council, elders and traditional rulers of Izon and Waneze, Indigo leaders, including all other tribal leaders across coastal land of Biafra, to call Asari to order because we are ready for them at any time they may come. We are aware of the amount paid to him by Hope Uzodinma, Iyeson Wiki, and Fulani people thinking they can stop Ipob and ESN. Will it disgrace him and his boys? Ipob members worldwide should take note of this treachery by Asari Dokubi and his partners in crime. They must know how some evil political and traditional leaders across mainland are colliding with enemies to fight against struggle. We want to alert Biafrans that Asari Dokubi is also colluding with Fulani security forces and presidency to cause chaos and anarchy in Biafra land. But let me say that by the way of general statement, the 2 issues presented, the issue related to electoral bill and the issue related to Kanu, and by extension Ipob, what I can tell you for certain is that the decision of the president is based fundamentally and at all times on public interest consideration. In the art of governance, and what I have come to learn about the mind and heart of President Muhammadu Buhari is to consider the 200 million people as against the limited people. Kanu stated that the action of the defendants on a solitary confinement is inhumane, degrading, and constitutes a breach of Section 34 of the 1999 Constitution. He wants the courts to declare that the respondents, while carrying out their duties, are to abide by Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution. Kanu is praying the court to declare that he is entitled to the enjoyment of his rights to dignity of human person as enshrined under Section 34 of the 1999 Constitution. He also wants the court to order the respondents to immediately allow him appoint legal practitioners and medical personnel of his choice from any government hospital to review his health file. Kanu equally wants the court to direct his movement from solitary confinement to where he would be allowed, to pray and practice his faith unhindered in line with constitutional provisions. And this was the agitation of Nnamdi Kanu, who is at the DSS facility, saying that after the court had said that he be allowed to be to be in the DSS facility with enough attention and comfortability, and he should be given everything needed there, and says that in the suit filed by his lawyer, Maxwell Okwara, says before the High Court that he's still denied of food and medical care, clothes of his choice, and tried to practice his religion. Also saying that Nnamdi Kanu claimed that the doctor that has been attending to him is a quack doctor and not experienced. After I read the report in Tribune newspaper where the Imo State governor said this, I thought it would be nice to take a look at the present situation of the country to know if Hope Uzodinma is right by that statement. Despite COVID-19 pandemic, Nigeria was able to come out of the recession. Hope Uzodinma believes that Buhari has done well by moving the country out of the recession, despite the COVID-19 pandemic that was ravaging the whole country. But some people will disagree with Uzodinma because the cost of living is high, which is a clear sign that people cannot feel the impact of the recession which the country has exited. For example, the cost of cooking gas has tripled and the value of Naira is reducing by day. Also, many Nigerians are beginning to wonder how things will be if the federal government removes subsidy by the middle of next year. In addition, the insecurity in northern Nigeria has made it impossible, for farmers to go to the farm, and the consequence is an increase in food commodities like onion, yam, and tomato. I want to believe that Hope Uzodinma made a political statement because ordinary Nigerians who are battling hardship will disagree with him that Nigerians are happy with the president. People are joining the APC. What some people will ask is if joining the APC is a yardstick to measure the rate at which people are happy with the president. Uzodinma forgot that ordinary Nigerians who struggle by day are after survival and not political power. It is common sense to say that people who join the APC are this time looking ahead of the 2023 general election. Thanks for listening, and that is the news.